Hello, Montreal. How are you? Good? I'm good as well. Yeah, I just had a baby. Oh, wow. You guys, a lot of crowds immediately burst into applause. You guys are fucking ice cold. I like that. Yeah, I just had a child. I got a little ass baby, got a little girl. Or I don't mean to infantilize that infant. She's a little woman. She's a tiny little woman. Big fat tits, thick pubes. She's awesome. She's a trip. My friends are a trip too. My friends with kids were all trying to convince me to have kids. Have you had that friend that's just like, you gotta do it, man. You haven't even had love yet. You're not even using your heart. That's just a tube in there. There's more love in there. Have the kid, have the kid, have the kid. The same friend the next day, the day after I had the child, was like, welcome to hell. You're in my world now, bitch. Say goodbye to your social life, motherfucker. I'm like, you are my social life. Where were you 24 hours ago? I love her though. She's great. You guys know her? She's awesome. She's a cool. I'm changing diapers. Look at your boy. Do I look like I should be changing diapers? I look like I should be changing like graphic novels or whatever. I'm not prepared for diaper changing. Have you ever changed a diaper? They got. I didn't need you to applaud. It's not an applause-worthy activity. I didn't know this. They have cartoon characters printed on the diaper. Like in the shit zone, there's like an Elmo or a My Little Pony. I'm like, why? This is a 4-month-old baby. She does not know who fucking Elmo is. She's not a consumer of media. Why are you force-feeding her corporate slope symbology? Why? Why is it there? She doesn't even have the ab strength to lift herself up and look down and go, Elmo, buy it. She can't do that. Why is it there? It's upside down. Even if she could, she can't even say Dada. She's not that smart yet. Why is it there? Is it for me? Is that why it's printed there? Is it to entertain me as I clean her? Well, then don't put Sesame Street on there. Give me something. I'm an adult male man. I'm not a male man. I'm an adult male. Put something on there for me that will entertain me, like an Atlantic article about the possibilities of impeachment. Of Trudeau. Or an annotated Wes Anderson screenplay. Or a picture of my wife's body before she had the child. Give me something. Never been booed at a gala before. It feels nice. No, I can make that joke because my wife looks amazing, and also because she's a comedian, and Wanda Sykes, and you guys are very stupid, unbelievable. I love it, but I'm not married to her. But she's a comic. We have a rule in my house. We have a rule in my family that anything goes on stage. You can joke about anything. So my wife's always writing jokes about my deaf family. I have a deaf family, long story, but she's always making fun of my mom for being deaf, which I don't love. And I was writing that new joke that you just booed at, and I told her about it, and she's like, oh, what's the joke? I was like, you'll see. But she's a girl, and so you, as a father of a girl, you start to think about these things. You start to think about the world that she's entering, and you want it to be a better world for women than the one that came before and the one that came before that. I think we're doing pretty good. Do you think things are getting better? I think things are getting better. I don't know. I think Me Too is a very powerful moment in time right now, where women are telling truth that has been happening to them for ages, and they're being acknowledged for the first time, and then men are like pretending that we didn't know this shit has been happening this whole time. Because I have these conversations in green rooms with like older comedians that are like, people are like, it's not all, maybe men are doing it all over the place, but I only talk to comics in green rooms and they're freaking out. Dudes are freaking out. They're just like, is everything rape now? I'm like, don't open with that for sure. They're freaking out. They're too scared. They're scared. They're like, oh, it's not all men. It's not all men. And that's true, actually. It's not all men. But it is all men. It has been all men so far. I have yet to hear a tale of Meryl Streep inappropriately fingering Jeremy Irons on the set of Remains of the Day. I know that Meryl Streep and Jeremy Irons not in Remains of the Day together for the film buffs in the audience, but I do think that things are changing, and we have to have these conversations. It's hard to have conversations. People are scared to have conversations, specifically around consent. People are very afraid to have the conversation around consent. Guys don't know how to do it. Guys are terrified, especially older dudes, because the rules have changed. The tectonic plates of society are shifting underneath them, and they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to talk about it. But what I think they don't understand is not only is it important, but it's more important than ever. Now, because sex has changed, sex requires conversations about consent. It's gotten crazier. Like back in the day, I think think about the old days. Like, I think about my parents, like losing their virginity. I think about that every night from 11 to 11:15 p.m. Or whenever I make love to my wife, I think about my parents losing their virginity. You know, all innocent, all like necking on Lover's Lane, listening to Moon River or whatever. Well, not my parents, they're deaf, but like your parents or whatever. You know, very innocent and nice, you know? And then you get to my era. I'm like a child of the 90s. That's when I became sexual, was like in like 1994. So like most of my sexual lessons before I hooked up with someone were like vaguely transmitted to me from like West Coast gangster rappers, you know what I mean? So like I had a vague idea that at the end I was supposed to go like, yeah, and then leave or whatever. Light up a blunt and see walk out of there. That's what I thought sex was. But then I would meet a real girl. Surprise. I would meet a real girl, and we would hook up, and we'd become sexual. We'd make out, and then we'd finger each other. I'm from a very progressive family. And we'd build up to the freaky stuff. We'd go slowly up the freak ladder, you know what I mean? And we would try different stuff, you know? You try doggy style. You remember the first time you tried, oh, I'm sorry. No. You remember the first time you tried doggy style? Oh my, you feel so powerful. You're like, it truly is the style of a dog. I am a god. It's amazing. And you felt so powerful and freaky, and then you'd make some mistakes. You'd fall down the freak ladder a little bit, you know what I mean? You'd like make some fumbles, you know? One of the first times I tried doggy style, I was doing it, and then I pulled out to on her back, according to the customs of my people, and the strength of the orgasm was so overwhelming that it kind of like doubled me over. So like, I don't know if you guys are sort of peeping out the kind of biodynamics of what's happening in this joke. Yeah, I fucking blasted myself in the face. Took a big old fatty self-load to the face, just a big old me-on-me crime. Unbelievable. Ladies, I took the money shot, I guess it's called. I finally understand what you guys go through, because I fucking loved that shit! Oh, I have been chasing that feeling ever since. But now these kids are raised on porn. They have streaming internet from the beginning of their lives, from the beginning of their pubescent lives. They think porn equals sex. That's scary. You ask an 18-year-old dude, like, hey man, what's sex? He's like, oh, sex? Shit, I guess that's where you gag her for a while, bust on her face, and then kick her out of the bang bus. Like, okay, maybe a conversation about consent would be a good idea. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you so much. Good night.